The swim is the most intimidating part of the triathlon for most people, and a wetsuit can really help make it less so. But with wetsuits ranging from a little over $100 to $1,500, how much of your hard-earned money should you be spending on your wetsuit? Or can you just get away with a cheapie? We'll find out. Now at GTN we're partnered with Orca, so we get to swim in some of the best suits in the world, like this, swum in by Seb Keenley and Emma Pallant. And in fact, Mark and I have been swimming in pretty fancy wetsuits for most of our career.
Yeah, but if you're starting out and maybe keeping an eye on your budget, how much should you actually spend on a wetsuit? I mean, you could go for as simple as this, the Aptonia from Decathlon, which costs £99 or $140, or you could spend £699 or $976 on something like the Orca Predator. So today we're going to be comparing the two and also testing them against each other.
So let's take a look at the tech of these suits. First up, the Orca Predator. 0.88 free technology, the finest neoprene in the market, 0.5 millimeters thick with titanium coating. Exolift and aerodome technology, sandwich layers of neoprene in some areas and aerodome in others. Core lateral stabilizer, a rigid panel that keeps the abdomen rigid in order to strengthen your core and prevent twisting. Yamamoto 44 neoprene, exclusive to Orca, the most elastic neoprene in the world. And zero chafing, Velcro on the zipper flap, combined with laser cutting to prevent any friction or chafing while swimming. A nano coating on top of all this to reduce the friction through the water, plus Hydrolite panels to make the suit easier to remove in transition.
Whereas the Decathlon Aptonia has some rather interesting wording. Has freedom of movement due to its 2mm neoprene on the arms for more flexibility. Buoyancy, 4mm neoprene on the pelvis and legs for better horizontality, whatever that means. Easy dressing due to the inverted zip and shorter cut on the arms and legs. Durability, 100% neoprene corrugated with jersey on more fragile areas. Again, I have no idea what that means. And then reduced chafing, protection flap on the neck to avoid friction.
Okay, so clearly some of the money you spend on the Orca Predator has gone to the marketing department, whereas the Aptonia has saved that money. But it's immediately clear that Orca has gone to the limits of technology to improve their wetsuit. The 5mm thick panels versus Aptonia's 4mm thick enough panels, the ultra thin arms versus 2mm thin enough arms on the Aptonia, and just the way the panels are put together, you can immediately see that when you put it on, the Orca's going to fit you better.
But does this all result in a faster and more comfortable swim? Does it mean it is £600 faster? Well, I think it's time, James, to suit up and get the stopwatches out.
Okay, so we're suited up now. Mark in the Aptonia, myself in the Orca Predator. How does it feel, Mark?
It doesn't feel very figure hugging. If
no, you've got a few crinkles.
Yeah, I don't know if
wrinkles.
that's my pecs and biceps, maybe lack of, but yeah, there's a few crinkles and yeah.
It's worth pointing out here that the Aptonia comes in a total of 5 sizes, whereas the Orca Predator comes in a total of 9 sizes. In fact, Mark and I both size up for the same size Aptonia, whereas we're in one size different in the Orca Predator.
Yeah, and as you will know, wetsuit size and fit is very important. You may just get lucky with some suits, but if you get it wrong, it can be very detrimental to your swimming performance.
So we're going to test these, and the way we're going to test these is, of course, swimming in them. Mark and I are each going to do a 200-meter timed swim in that suit and a 200-meter timed swim in this suit, and we're going to see who's faster. We're also, which suit's faster, not who's faster. Mark's definitely faster. We're also going to do a push-off and glide off the wall and see how far we get to try and measure the hydrodynamics of the suit. And finally, we'll hop out the pool and do a rapid wetsuit strip, because obviously this suit, like we said earlier, has some features for a fast transition, which potentially that suit is going to struggle with.
Maybe the features on this one will just be the amount of water in it already.
Just makes it flow straight off you.
We're gonna see, aren't we?
Let's test it. Mark in the Aptonia. 3, 2, 1, yep.
Are you ready?
3, 2, 1, go!
All right, first 200's down. Now time to swap over the suits. Before we do, what was your time for the Orca?
I swam 200 meters in 2:19. I'm not going to lie, I'm not very impressed with that, but that's more to do with my arms than the suit.
Yeah, I think we should put it out there. It's been a long time since we've done some proper swimming due to COVID, lockdown, etc.
And retiring.
Yeah. Similarly, mine was 2:18, which I'm pleased with considering I was in this suit, and it felt like a balloon halfway through the 200. But now I need to improve on that. So, but I'd love to get your thoughts. So here we go.
If I must, well, you take the Predator
Well, actually,
then.
no, I've brought my own in my size. Don't have that option with that one, yeah. Okay, it's Aptonio time. Ready, James? 3, 2, 1, let's go!
Okay, Mark, your turn in the Predator. Don't let the side down. On your marks, set, go! Okay, second time trial done, this time with me in the Aptonia, Mark in the Predator. How much faster were you, Mark?
2 seconds, and my second run of the day, and like we said earlier, haven't done much swimming, so I'm quite pleased with that.
Well, at least he was faster. I was a solid 7 seconds slower in the Aptonia. It was also my second swim of the day, to be fair, but yeah, certainly this suit doesn't feel quite as comfortable as
You know
that
what,
one.
I've got to say, it felt good for about 50 meters.
Yeah, and then it feels like it fills up with water a little bit. The neck doesn't really hold properly, and it loosens, and yeah, it was not as smooth as that one.
Yeah, but now time to swap again, I guess.
Yeah, second test.
But this time, we're gliding.
Yep. Okay, Mark, glide test.
Yep.
Push off as far as you can go, no kicking. Glide, no kicking. Let's see how far you get. He's off. Good glide. Can he hold his breath? How long can he hold his breath for? That's it. That's it. Good job. We marked it with a trash can for next time. No significant reason why we use the trash can.
Okay, James, your gliding opportunity, what you've been practicing your whole life for. You ready? Off you go. Oh, it's intense. Oh, no. It's done well, it's doing well. Still going. Whoa. Smashed it.
I'll take that.
Good work.
All right, Mark, glide test. This time in the Predator, you've got to beat the trash can for no significant reason. Ready? And go. So here's the trash can. He's effortlessly floating past that. Still going, still going, still going. His feet have passed it now, so it's a good 6 feet further. More, 8 feet further. and we'll call it there. I'd say that's a solid 10 feet further in the Predator. Good job, Mark, but I'm pretty sure that was the wetsuit, not you.
Oh. Okay, James, now your turn to see what the Aptonia's got. Ready? Let's go. Don't think he's going to make it to this cone, although he's still gliding. You did quite well, but you were just short of it.
Oh.
Well, that was a far more enjoyable test compared to the 200.
A little bit less strenuous, I won't lie. Yeah, we did a glide test. We pushed off the wall, see how far we could go. Mark went a solid 8 feet further in his Predator than he went in the Aptonia, and I managed a solid 1 foot further in the Predator.
2 foot, I'd say.
Okay, 2 feet.
Yourself.
Still, both of us got further in the Predator, and again, it's more comfortable.
Yeah, and I got to say, I didn't feel that noticeable, the difference. I didn't feel it really, but when I got to the end, just kind of the noticeable sloshing around.
I kind of felt the balance a little bit in this. When I pushed off and I was just kind of floating along, it felt like my body wanted to rotate over, and whereas that one I just was perfectly stable. So.
Interesting. Next test I think we've got to do as triathletes is the wetsuit removal.
Yep.
Come on, let's do this.
3, 2, 1, go! Watch on. Oh no! Watch on.
Not a good advert, James.
Well, don't normally leave the watch on when I'm racing.
It did get quite stuck on my ankles though. Normally you could just kick them off.
Yeah, I kick mine off pretty easy.
Yeah, I was just lucky at the start, I think.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, that was close. Had the advantage on me.
All right, that's all our tests concluded, and that was a bit of fun, wasn't it, Mark?
Yeah, an odd kind of fun.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you that 200-meter time trials when you haven't swum for months is fun, but we got them done. What have we learned?
Well, probably the takeaway for me, obviously, is that fit is very, very important. I think I knew that anyway, but just this highlighted it. Yeah,
so Mark and I are actually in different size Predators. Mine's one size up from his, which means the Aptonia kind of fit me fairly well, whereas it didn't fit Mark very well at all. But if you went a size down in the Aptonia, I don't think you'd be able to get into it because there just aren't the options. So that's important. You have to find a wetsuit that fits you. The next thing we should probably point out is how durable they are, which we couldn't test here today because, we've only been here for a few hours. I think you'll probably find that this outer layer will deteriorate quicker with a few sea swims, things like that, and also it's just going to lose its stretch and its elasticity.
Yeah, I mean, I am familiar with neoprene like this on some cheaper suits I've had back in the day as a kid, and they deteriorate quickly. The only thing I would say it's got going for it is the fact that it uses a different neoprene on the bum, a bit more similar to kind of like a surfing, sailing wetsuit that you're familiar with, which is very durable, just not very good for swimming because it's not very hydrophobic. And you can feel that noticeably as you're swimming. It's just not very buoyant around the hips, the backside, whereas this, it's got all these dimples in, and that's because it allows it to trap air, essentially, and that helps to keep you more buoyant. Not to add, it's different thicknesses of neoprene, that also adds to the increased buoyancy. There's a lot more going for this one, let's put it that way.
Absolutely, there are a lot of factors. It's also important that we point out that there are lots of options in between these two suits. The options are not 100 pounds or 700 pounds. There's a lot of options in between to suit your budget. And if you're just starting out in triathlon, this suit will get you around that swim course and keep you warm on one of those cold swim starts. So maybe it is just worth starting with one of these.
Yeah, but equally, don't feel like you have to go for the top of the range. There's so many in between, and again, with so many sizing options, and that is key. Make sure you go and find a wetsuit that fits you. And if you need some advice on finding a wetsuit, how to choose one for your specific swim type, then we have a video on that over at GTN. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video, so please give it a thumbs up, give it a like, and don't forget to give us a follow over on social media and subscribe just down below.